Hello my lovelies, it is time for another round of Wheel of TBR and Becca's Bookopolathon, so stay tuned. So if you're new here, hi, welcome, happy to have you here. This month is going to be a little bit different than I've done in previous months, so just to let you know, this is not the norm. But for those that have been around for a while, hi, welcome back. And this month, guys, it's gonna get crazy. So I plan on participating in Buzzword, my TBR Knockout that I do, as well as Becca's Bookopolathon, Book Roast's Magical Readathon, and mine and Clint and Kaylani's Season-athon. This next round of Fall into Reading-a-thon is also in September. There's a lot going on this month. And I'm hoping to squish it into as few books as possible because I'm still trying to play catch up from kind of falling behind this summer. I'm doing better, like I did better last month, and I'm doing better for August, so hopefully I can keep up this momentum and do better in September and get myself finally caught up. So what I'm going to do this month is, instead of my normal 6 spins, I plan on doing Becca's Bookopolathon as well as my wheel. So I'm going to do 4 rolls for Bookopolathon and 4 spins for the wheel. Unless, of course, I get doubles on Bookopolathon, or Bookopolathon makes me do a extra spin on my wheel, or I end up with bonus spins. With the exception of all that, I'm going to do 4 and 4. So 8 books instead of the normal 6, but 2 games. Yeah. After I get done with both the Bookopolathon and the wheel, then I'll go over what my TBR is for all the other stuff. So yeah, once we get past the games, I will sit down, I'll create my TBR for everything, and in this video at the very end, I'll show you my TBR for each of the readathons and all of that. So before we get into the Bookopoly and the wheel, let's go over how I did last month, or technically still this month. As of this point, it is currently Thursday, August 26th, so I still have 5 days left in the month. Hopefully I can finish some more stuff, but here's where I'm at right now. Okay, so as I said, May and June I got really behind. So I had books on my August TBR that had been rolled from May to June to July and then to August. And these are the books that were originally on my May TBR. So we had The Sweet Spot by Heather Hayford and Hotel Dare by Terry Bloss and Claudia Aguirre. I can say that Hotel Dare I actually did end up finishing in July, so it didn't have to go into my August TBR. And I did finish The Sweet Spot in August. Rolling over from my June TBR, I had Itsy Bitsy Spider by Kimberly Sherson, and I can say that I did read this in August. Rolling over from my July TBR, I had We by Yevgeny Zamyatin, and I did read this in August. I also had On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, and I did read this in August. And then I also had The Wicked Will Rise by Danielle Page, and I also read that in August. Also, if you're new here, you may not know that I changed up my Have I Read It game, and now you get to vote and help choose which books I read from my Have I Read It videos. And last month, the ones that won were Winter by Marissa Meyer and Sanctuary by Karen Licks. And I can say that I have completed Winter, and I am currently reading Sanctuary, and I am 299 pages in, so maybe 2/3 of the way. So this will get done by the end of this month. Okay, so for the books that I actually got in August, the wheel was not kind for August, and I ended up with 3 bonus spins, so I had to do a total of 9 spins. So the first spin I had was Treat Your Shelf, and for that I picked the graphic novel Check Please, and I did read this. The next spin I had was A through Z, and that was a random letter generator, and for that I got Y, and I selected Frankly in Love by David Yoon, and I have not read this. So if that doesn't get finished by the end of this month, it will roll over into my September TBR, which there's a very good chance it's gonna roll over because I'm already hoping to finish 2 other things before the end of this month, so we'll see. For the spin, Animal on the Cover, I was to read Dorothy Must Die Stories Volume 2, and I did read this. For Sprayed Edges, I was to read the graphic novel Fangs by Sarah Anderson, and I have not read this, though this is one that very well could get finished by the end of this month just because it's a graphic novel. I kind of saved a few of my graphic novels because I was trying to get the bigger books out of the way, and if you saw like my buddy reads that I had to do last month, like I had some seriously thick buddy read books. So I kind of pushed most of the graphic novels that I had to read to the end, and was like, if I need to, I can squeeze those in, but if not, they'll be easy to do the next month. Okay, so for the spin book outlet, I was to read the graphic novel The Sandman Overture by Neil Gaiman, and I have not read this. For the spin face, I was to read The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, and I did finish this. For the spin Cards Against My TBR question, I selected Willow, and this is another graphic novel, and I did not finish this one, though that is another one that I'm hoping to finish by the end of this month. We'll see. For the spin Have I Read It, I selected Sanctuary for that, and as I already said, I'm currently reading that. And for the spin Wild Card, a book that I don't know much about, I selected The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alir Saiz, and I have not read this one. So it looks like a lot to roll over into September, but I am working on Sanctuary. That's gonna get done. I plan on reading Willow, and then maybe I'll get some of these other graphic novels in as well. So it's not that bad. Not too bad. And then I have my buddy reads for the month. We are going to be reading Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. The group book for Seasonathon, Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. Yellow Brick War by Danielle Page. This is, I forget which number in the Dorothy Must Die series. And then The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan. And I know you saw that I read The Lost Hero. I am currently reading The Son of Neptune. But yes, this will also be one of my buddy reads for the month. And also we need to select the winners for rounds 15 and 16 of my Have I Read It. So in round 15, it was an absurd amount of books. So I'm not gonna hold up all of those and show you and tell you how many votes everything got, but I will tell you some. There were actually, there were over 30 books that were in that stack for people to vote from. There were 2, I'm surprised it was only 2 books that got no votes at all. And those were The Great American Whatever by Tim Federle and Unremembered by Jessica Brody. So both of these got 0 votes. So I thought I would show you the top 5 places for each of these Have I Read It's, and also let you know I've decided to change things yet again for my Have I Read It's because, well, number 15, as I said, was an absurd amount of books. There was over 30 books, and I decided that I can't just pick one book. So I've decided for every 10 books, I'm going to select one. So because there were like right around 30 books, I'm going to select the top 3 voted for books. in this Have I Read It. So in 5th place with 13 votes, we had a tie between Two Dark Reigns by Kendar Blake and The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. In 4th place with 19 votes, we had Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Tied in 3rd place with 20 votes, we had Furyborn by Claire Legrand and Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray. So the 3 books that I will be reading, and this was tied in 2nd place with 29 votes each, we have My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows, and Jem and the Holograms graphic novel. And then the winner by a landslide with 71 votes was Night Books by J.A. White. You guys are awesome. I love you so much. Thank you. So yay for that. Okay, now let me get the books from Have I Read It number 16. Okay, so tied in 5th place with 16 votes each, we had Defiance by C.J. Redwine and Here by Robin Epstein. In 4th place with 19 votes, we had Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. In 3rd place with 21 votes, we had Both of Me by Jonathan Friesen. In 2nd place with 23 votes, we had Slide by Jill Hathaway. And then the book that I will be reading that won in 1st place with 39 votes was Don't You Forget About Me by Kate Karras Quinn. Here, I'm going to actually move these down here because these can be selected from my wheel, whereas these cannot because they're already supposed to have been read. Okay, now on to Becca's Bookopolathon. I'm going to do 4 rolls unless I get doubles, and we'll just see what we get. Roll number 1, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chance card. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Okay, so that was actually one I've already read, so let me pull another one. The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. So my first roll was a chance card, and to be honest, these chance cards and the community shelf cards are from my last round of Bookopoly, so I don't know what's on any of these cards, and it just so happened that the first card I picked is one that I've already read that book, so I drew a second card, and for that one I got The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed, and this is about a group of girls that form an anonymous group called the Nowhere Girls to resist the sexist culture at their school, which includes boycotting sex of any kind. So that is what I will be selecting for my first roll. Roll number 2. 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who? Okay, so for roll number 2, we got Who. And that is to read a book that you don't really hear about this author at all. And I decided to go with a book that nobody voted for on my Have I Read It. So for that, I will be reading The Great American Whatever by Tim Federle. I haven't heard anything at all about this author, but this book does sound quite interesting to me. So I've selected this for roll number 2. Roll number 3. Oh, wow. That was another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A cute book. So for roll number 3, we landed on Cute, which is just a book that we think is cute. Has a cute cover, cute story, whatever. And for this one, I decided to go with By the Book by Amanda Sellette. And I mean, for one, this cover is super cute. And it sounds like it's going to be a super cute rom-com kind of book where our main character, Mary, she is sort of like a walking encyclopedia of mistakes that have been made by literary heroines. And she compiles a guide pretty much called the Scoundrel Survival Guide, using archetypes of literature's debonair bad boys to spot red flags in the dating department. But despite her best efforts, she soon finds herself falling for a supposed cad, the same one she warned her friends away from. This sounds so cute. So this is what I will be picking for roll number 3. Can we get another 7? Who knows? Roll number 4. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. POC rep. Okay, so for roll number 4, we got POC rep. And for that one, I decided to go with Yellow Wife by Sadika Johnson. This is set in, I don't know what year, 1850 in Charles City, Virginia. And it is about a woman who has been promised her freedom when she turns 18, only to find herself in the bowels of slavery at the infamous Devil's Half Acre, a jail in Richmond, Virginia, where the enslaved are broken, tortured, and sold every day. And I've heard this is an incredibly moving story. So that is what I have selected for roll number 4. Okay, so no doubles. Yay. So far, so good. 2 of these books were actually books that I had selected for my Cards Against My TBR. They're also Once Upon a Book Club boxes, so I'll get to do a full unboxing of the gifts and all that when I'm vlogging. So I'm excited about that too. All right, let's hope the wheel was as kind as Bookopoly was. Also, if by some miracle I complete all of my TBR for September, my plan is to continue Bookopoly and do it like a roll as I go, but not until I finish all my other books. So you'll just have to watch my vlogs to see if that happens, because I'll do it in the vlog. All right, spin number 1. Series. Oh, yay. For this, I'm going to select The Mark of Athena. This is book 3 in the Heroes of Olympus series. So that's what I'm going to select for that one. Woohoo! Okay, put that there. Let's see. If you don't know, each time I spin, I mark what lands on it. When a spot gets 5 marks, or when I'm going to put the 5th mark, instead of marking it, I erase them all and give myself a bonus spin. When I'm doing my bonus spins, I don't mark for that, but all the way up to that, I can get a bonus spin every single time I spin one of my regular spins. So, had that had 4 on it just now, instead of doing 4 spins, I would have had to do 5. Luckily for me, that was not the case. Also, we changed the prompt each time. So we will be replacing series with middle grade. All right, spin number 2. Out of comfort zone. Yellow Wife definitely would have been that for me. None of these books are actually out of my comfort zone. Okay, so I think for this one, I think this came in one of my unplugged book boxes. This is The Rose Code by Kate Quinn, and this is like a World War II female code breaker spy kind of thing, and this is very much out of my comfort zone. I don't read a whole lot of historical fiction. I don't read a lot of spy books. So yeah, this is definitely out of my comfort zone. But holy cow, it's bigger than I thought. It's over 600 pages. 624 pages. Why couldn't I have picked something small that's out of my comfort zone? Okay. We're gonna go with it. Let's mark that. And we will replace that with Goodreads. So for that, I could either go with like the Goodreads recommends, or I could just scroll through my Goodreads and the first book that I see somebody like sharing or whatever, I think that's probably what I'd do. The first book that I see somebody sharing that I own, that I'm interested in reading, I'll read that. All right, spin number 3. Gifted. Okay, so this is a book that somebody has sent to me, either as just like a gift, or an author's gifted it to me, or something like that. So, preferably something small. Any graphic novels been gifted to me lately? Okay, this is not easy to pull out because it's kind of buried in a stack, but I did manage. I've selected Fence by C.S. Pacat, and this, I don't really know too much about this except that it is queer and there's fencing involved, and this was gifted to me by my mother-in-law. Yay for graphic novels. Okay, let's mark that. It gives us 4 on that one. So if I happen to land on that same spot again, I will have a bonus spin. I think that's the only one that can get me this time. Okay, we'll replace Gifted with TBR Vet. So that's a book that I've had for a long time. I have a lot of those. All right, spin number 4. Arc. Okay. This is actually an arc that I've had for a long time. The book has already come out. The book came out in September 2019. So I've had this arc for a minute, but that is The Hive by Barry Lyga and Morgan Baden. And this is not what the cover looks like, obviously, but the cover actually looks quite cool. But this is about kind of social media being controlled by something called the Hive. And if you do something really bad on social media, people can literally come after you in the real world and like attack you or whatever, and it's legal. So this is what I have selected for that. And oh my goodness, no doubles. Let me put this over here. All right, so let me mark that. We will go ahead and replace Arc with Romance for next time. Yay, no doubles. I'm quite happy with my TBR. I think I do stand a chance of actually completing it this time. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to stop the camera for now and kind of go through all of the different things I am completing this month and come up with all my TBRs for that. And I'll be right back in just a little bit and share it all with you. Okay, so that took a little while, but I've got everything figured out. I did have to add a few more books to my TBR in order to be able to complete everything. So you've already seen what I plan on doing for Bookopolathon. So we don't have to go over that. So let's start with Buzzword. So the Buzzword for September is dark. And for this one, I had to add another book because none of my books had the word dark in it. So I actually picked one from the Have I Read It that didn't get enough votes. And I selected Two Dark Rains by Kendar Blake because I have recently, I think a couple months ago, read the second book in this series, and this is the third book, so I am looking forward to continuing it while it is still somewhat fresh in my brain. Okay, next is my TBR Knockout. And if you don't know what my TBR Knockout is, I will link that up here, but it is a year-long, kind of like a readathon. There's a theme for each month, and each month has 2 prompts, and yeah, that's really all it is. So the theme for September is harvest. The first prompt is read a book with fruit or veggies on the cover. And surprisingly, I didn't have anything that had that, so I decided to go with The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine, and if I remember correctly, this is a Snow White retelling, and I love me some retellings, so I'm very excited to read this. I'm surprised it's taken me this long to actually read it. I think I have this whole series and just haven't gotten around to reading any of them, but this does have an apple on the cover. The second prompt is any form of land on the cover. So for that, I decided to go with As You Like It, a Shakespeare story by Andrew Matthews and Tony Ross. And as you can see, there's land on the cover. And this is also one of my Cards Against My TBR. But this is like a children's version, like condensed version of William Shakespeare's As You Like It. Okay, so for Book Roast's Magical Readathon, I want to do all of the prompts. So I did select a book for every single prompt for the whole map. You only have to complete 2, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total prompts for that, and I want to do all of them. So you also can't double up on hers. So for the first prompt, the Novice Path Entrance, read a book with a map. For that one, I am going to read The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine. I was surprised to find that this paperback does have a map in it, so yay. For Ashtorn Tree, a book that keeps tempting you, or top of your TBR, for that, I have selected Jim and the Holograms, the graphic novel. This one is volume 1, Showtime. I am so beyond excited to read this, and I really hope I love it. For the prompt, The Mist of Solitude, read a standalone. For that, I will be reading By the Book by Amanda Sellette. For the prompt, Ruin of the Sky, read a book featuring ghost/haunted house or other supernatural elements. I will be reading Anya's Ghost by Vera Bruscal. Oh, and that is a graphic novel as well. For Obsidian Falls, read a thriller or a mystery book. I will be reading The Hive by Barry Lyga and Morgan Baden. For the prompt, Tower of Rumination, read a 5-star prediction. I am going to select The Great American Whatever by Tim Federle for this. I haven't looked at it on Goodreads, so I don't know how it rates, but just reading the synopsis makes me think that this is going to be like a really hard-hitting, make me bawl my eyes out kind of book, and those are usually the ones that end up getting 5 stars for me. So I'm going to predict this is my 5-star read. And for Aurelium Academy Arc, read a book with a school setting. For that, I will be reading Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. This is also the group book for my season-athon, Fall into Reading-athon. And this is set at a school where a girl has sort of a, kind of like a love advice column, but it's a love advice locker. People put their like questions or concerns or whatever in this locker with payment, of course, and she gives them anonymous advice. This sounds like it's going to be very, very cute. But yes, that is my book for school setting. Also, you have until April to complete your character prompts for creating a character. And I'm just going to go ahead and try to do it in September. And so originally, I had a completely different character in mind, but then I changed it up and decided to go with, for background, I went with urban, and for that was to read a book set in a city or a town. And for that I selected Yellow Wife by Sadiqa Johnson, and this is set in Charles City, Virginia. For my province, I selected Carador, and for that you're to read a book from an ongoing series. And for that I have selected The Mark of Athena. And then for heritage, I decided to create an elf, and that is to read a book with moon or stars on the cover. So I will be reading The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alir Saiz, because stars, I am so running out of room. And then all that's left is the Fall into Reading-a-thon. This is a week-long readathon, September 20th through the 26th. If you're interested, I will link the announcement video up here for you to check out. So for prompt number 1, school's in session, read the group book or buddy read a book. For that, I will be reading the group book, which is Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. Now, you are able to triple up, double up, whatever you want to do. I personally like to try to read one book for each prompt. So for prompt number 2, online learning, read an ebook or an audiobook, I decided to go with The Great American Whatever by Tim Federle. I found this on my Hoopla. Prompt number 3, Friday Night Lights, read a book involving a competition. That could be sports, game, tournament, contest, anything like that. I decided to go with Fence, the graphic novel, volume 1 by C.S. Pacat. For prompt number 4, Who Wants Candy Corn, read a book with white, orange, and or yellow on the cover. I will be reading Yellow Wife because there's yellow, white, and some orange on the cover. For prompt number 5, Pumpkin Spice Lattes and Apple Picking, read a book with fruit or beverage on the cover or in the title. And I could read The Shadow Queen for that, but I could also read By the Book by Amanda Sellette because she is drinking a cup of coffee. And that's actually what I selected for this prompt. And then for prompt number 6, Beneath the Harvest Moon, channel your inner beast and read something paranormal. And for that, I will be reading Anya's Ghost. So let's see. Okay, sorry if the angle changed, but my battery died. And I also needed to grab 2 more books. So this is my entire TBR for all of the stuff that I plan on doing, plus whatever I don't finish from these, which I expect to finish Sanctuary. I expect to finish Willow. And I think there's a possibility that I'll finish these 2 graphic novels as well. So more than likely, Frankly in Love, maybe the only one rolling over, but possibly those. And the other 2 books I had to grab were ones that are from my Cards Against My TBR that if I don't finish by the end of this month, have to roll over into next month. And that is The Neverlist by Codie Zan, which I am currently working on, but I'm only on page 24 of this. Sanctuary and The Neverlist are my big goals for this month, plus Willow. And I have 5 days, so I think maybe I can get them done or pretty close. So the other one that will probably have to roll over is The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. And yeah, so I have to add that in there. So with the exception of the 3 that I think I can finish this month, let's add these all in here. This is what my TBR for September is looking like. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but I think it's doable. I hope it's doable. I think I have a good opportunity to finally catch up. So there's 24 books here. 5 of them are graphic novels, and then I have the one like little kids version of the Shakespeare story. Maybe. It's possible. So have you guys read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!